All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's talk about private equity today. So, most people in PE are optimizing the wrong variable. They're still thinking in terms of cuts and consolidation, buy the businesses, trim the fat, stack the multiple, and then sell them. That's basically putting lipstick on a pig. But what if the entire model is getting outperformed? What if there's a better way to maximize value creation and way faster than before? Because here's the thing, the firms that are pulling ahead, I'm talking with the top 1% of firms at cutting edge technology and implementation, they're not just cutting harder, they're operating totally different. They're using AI and leveraging their data to rebuild how the business is run. They don't just buy companies, they buy companies, they leverage their data, and they turn them into systems that reduce overhead, increase margins, add to EBITDA, and ultimately maximize your exit value. And when you start doing that across 5, 10, 20 different businesses, you don't just get a portfolio, you get a machine. Let's talk about how that works in today's video. Before we get into it, I'm Victor. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Levanta Labs, and we help private equity firms unlock 20% more EBITDA through leveraging proprietary firm data and embedded AI agents across their portfolio without disrupting operations at all. Now, let's talk about the old PE playbook. You'd buy businesses, you'd cut staff to reduce costs, you'd buy a bunch of smaller businesses to stack that multiple and trade at a higher EBITDA, and there would be almost zero operational innovation in this playbook. Aside from any human labor or simple operations tweaks, they're not doing much because they have the leverage by expanding total revenue to trade at a higher multiple. But nowadays, with how quickly innovation is happening in the digital and AI space, we have a brand new opportunity that only the top few firms in the space are using. They're using AI and data and software to rebuild the core operations, and they're leveraging their data to have full portfolio visibility and analyze that data using AI in order to make decisions that create value much faster. Not only that, they're embedding AI agents, which nowadays you can basically build an AI agent to automate any mundane task that is done on a computer to reduce overhead, reduce the need for additional staff that aren't moving the needle forward or driving gross profit to your bottom line. And they're using AI agents to automate tasks such as simple mundane tasks in accounting, finance, marketing, admin, billing, anything you can basically think of that is done in sheets or done on a computer without any creative, strategic, or high level long-term thinking. You can probably nowadays do the job that maybe it took 10 people to do 5 years ago. So they're basically transforming the operating models and allowing for a much larger margin increase, a much larger impact to EBITDA, and a much larger impact to exit value without that big of a time or cost investment up front. And the advantage of doing this in PE across a portfolio of many companies is, one, you have a crap ton of data across all of the departments of all of those companies. So you're able to consolidate that, analyze that, and pull real insights that are not just insights. They help you make decisions faster that drive growth to the bottom line and drive value creation. And in this case, when you are an operating partner or you have a stake in what goes on in each of these companies, you own the decision, you own the asset. So you don't just sell a dream, you actually implement it. Now, let's just walk through a case study. This firm decided to roll up an insurance agency. The agency was doing 500K net income with 5% margins. And they basically had 3 employees doing everything in terms of admin, finance, billing, renewals, manually. The problem with that is that you are using human labor, which is costly, and you're paying each of these people around $80,000 a year, $60,000 a year, just to copy paste data and information between systems, do manual follow-ups. And they're all using a bunch of legacy tools that are held together with our best friends, Slack and email. The solution is that they implemented our AI enabled system to take all of the data across all departments, analyze what needs to be cut, what needs to be automated, what playbook needs to be implemented. And they also built out a few AI agents to handle things like invoicing, like updating spreadsheets, like building reports, like doing follow ups. And they were able to cut those, sad to say, they were able to cut those 3 employees, which let their margins jump from 5% to 30% without implementing any brand new system, without having to run around and enforce SOPs, just by automating a simple solution, a simple task that they were able to pinpoint by having a high level overview of all of their data. Now, the critical advantage when it comes to private equity as an operating partner is that you have ownership. You are able to make decisions and you are able to implement, push a playbook forward. You can implement these changes with authority and you can probably get it done pretty quickly. And once you've done this across 1, 2, 3 companies in your portfolio as a pilot and you've seen change and you can prove change to EBITDA or the bottom line or exit value, and you're able to report that to your team, you will have the go ahead to apply that playbook across the entire portfolio and create compounding value that, in traditional methods of PE could only be done by cutting fat and putting lipstick on a pig, as I mentioned. But now with AI, you're able to do that at much higher leverage. So the bottom line here is that when you own the businesses, you don't have to ask permission. You don't have to go through loopholes and bureaucracy. You can implement changes a lot faster that drive growth to exit value. Now, let's talk about the growth flywheel effect. You acquire a bunch of businesses at lower multiples, let's say doing a couple $100,000 a year or a couple $1,000,000 a year. Net, you transform them using your data and AI agents and process upgrades, and then you scale them by increasing margins, reinvesting that margin into growth, and adding operational efficiency. So that way, one person can do what it used to take 3 to 5 people to do. And with that additional margin, you can take that, increase your marketing and sales spend, and grow the business a lot faster. Not only that, if you're not looking to do that, you've just increased your EBITDA by a ton just by decreasing overhead. It's very simple math that all of you probably understand better than I do. And once you've done that across a few portfolio companies, you can rinse and repeat this exact process. So instead of stacking on businesses to get that leveraged multiple, you are scaling the business and now you can 10x, 20x that multiple. So let's just talk about the next chapter in private equity. And this is coming fast because as we are moving with AI, things are starting to happen at a speed that we don't understand. Even at the cutting edge, even at the forefront, it is insane at how quickly things are moving. So instead of having, your value multiple at 6, 7x, you can now have a 10x multiple when these AI systems replace traditional operations. You can increase margins from, let's say, 5% to 30%, as we've seen in a ton of different verticals in service businesses. And you can replace entire admin functions, entire admin teams, entire marketing teams, entire operations and finance and accounting teams just by having clean AI agent workflows doing what it used to take a 60 to 80K a year employee a whole day to do. These AI agents can get it done in minutes. So the best part about all of this is that you don't need to be technical. You just need to be the change. There are people out there like myself and my company who can implement this for you. So forget firing two accountants, forget firing your marketing team. Just replace the need for having 20 when you achieve growth at scale. And if you guys want to learn more exactly how we're doing this with firms in the small to medium business roll-up space across Canada and the US, feel free to check out my website, book a call with me, levantalabs.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, Victor Vargatu. I'd be more than happy to walk you through our process, some of our past case studies, and how we can help you implement AI into your private equity firm so you can reap the rewards and everybody can be happy. And I'll see you guys in the next one.